Ladies and gents, welcome. We've got some Golden Swamp. And I was just saying I was surprised that we didn't have more people playing Golden Swamp. Majority of the games are on other maps right now. This can be tricky to play, though, which might be part of it. There might be a lot of confusion for people. In the red, we have Artorius playing as the Slavs, the good farming civilization. Looks like there was a pause here, actually, by ychoD, who said battery's running low, so I had to get his charger real quick. I remember those days. ychoD is playing as the Lithuanians, which is definitely seen as the better civilization than Slavs in most cases, I would say, these days. And starting with the extra food could be really nice for lower elo, also on water maps, which can allow you to do some freaky things. But, yeah, ychoD with Lithuanians in the north, and then in the south, we've got Artorius. And these guys are low elo legends as they're 850, but as I constantly clarify these days, 850 is pretty freaking good. These guys definitely have practiced a bit, have some hotkeys, and have a pretty good idea how to play the game. So, this map is tricky to know what to do. You've got so much food to work with before you even talk about the water aspect. So you have, I think it's 8 water buffaloes, and water buffaloes have 150 food. Then you also have the 2 rhinos, which is 400 food a pop. Then you have deer, or ibex, I guess. And then you can also fish. So you can kind of do everything. The other thing that's tricky is if you go water control, you can use it against land units in the middle. Because of this terrain, land units can go on it. And then, of course, that goes the other way, too. Where if you do make navy, land units can work against your navy. So you just have options, right? And I really like it for that reason. There's a lot of different strategies you can see. The main warning I'll give you guys, and kind of a tip, because I see people prioritize the middle gold a lot on this map, is while the gold in the middle is important, it's not your everything. It's not Gold Rush or Golden Pit if you played those maps, because you do still have standard amounts of gold at your base. You still have 13 tiles at home. So you can let this be for a while, but you don't want to leave it there for too long uncontested, because, well, there's 39 tiles in the middle, right? And there's actually no hills on this map, so it's completely flat. So no hill bonuses at play. And the only other thing I'll mention is there are some neutral stones, but not a lot. So 3 tiles of stone here, 3 tiles here. I think that's it for neutral stones. For the tournament versions I've made of this map in the past, I actually have incorporated an additional neutral stone. Because it just feels weird to have this area be so empty or this area be so empty. I mean, there is a crocodile, so that's cool. What's up, bud? Everyone on YouTube will love this. But apart from that, there's not really a whole lot to look for over there. So red didn't make a lumber camp at the start of the game. He's just chopping the straggler trees here and choosing to go for the all-in on food start. Rhino has decided to go back home. So red's going to have to figure that out. Okay. Getting the rhino. Oh. Getting the rhino. Rhino still refuses to follow. I think we've all been there. There we go. Rhino's now following. Meanwhile, red hasn't created a villager this entire time. Red could lose a villager, too. You better shoot this thing with other vills. Good thing you got housed earlier, red. And you got Loom, because that villager would have been dead otherwise. But it is underneath the TC. Well played. Blue has done a better job, but I've seen enough games with Lithuanians to know that Dark Age is just much easier for people. And we'll see what Blue plans on doing here in Feudal. See if maybe there's going to be some scouts, which would make sense with a lot of food. But yes, Lumber Camp finally comes up now for red. Just didn't prioritize the Lumber Camp early. Not the biggest deal. He's taken a decent amount of the berries thus far. And in theory, should have slightly more food income or something here. T90, our rhino is more stubborn since the last patch. That happens to me all the time. I don't think I've heard anything about the animals being more stubborn. Honestly, all boars, rhinos, elephants on DE, they have always done what red just showed there if they're slightly obstructed. And even in some instances where they're not slightly obstructed, for whatever reason, if you click them and they run away right away, sometimes they will just they will not follow. But that to me is not something that I consider new. It's just an annoying part of the game. So I've kind of gotten used to it. But I mean, like I played Nomad the other day, and I was traveling a long distance. Like, let's say this is my TC. I traveled out here for a boar, and actually, no, wrong example. I actually brought it into my TC, and then it got stuck on a house, and then it went back. So that was actually different. But so I think the answer is no to that, but I don't know. Maybe there's something going on. Arbase says, I will have to praise the devs for this patch. A lot of the pathing issues and other bugs seem fixed. Yeah. They fixed go back to work. That seems fine. The pathing, I don't think is a lot better. There are still, like, one of the worst pathing issues was when you click to attack something when you're right next to it, and then it just stutters. Like, there was an instance today where Jordan tried to kill a monk from Doubt, for example, that he should have killed. I agree with you in general. The pathing, like, everything that was wrong, there was such a long list, for the most part, has been looked at and dealt with in some ways. Still hope that they brush up on the pathing side, but it's kind of a meme at this point, right? Every time there's a new patch, it's like, oh, pathing has been improved. It's like, I'm pretty sure in, like, the Forgotten Empire's contracts, they, like, have to say that or something. All right, so this is what makes or breaks players here. It's the build-up. It's the Feudal Age, okay? What's your eco going to look like once your rhinos are gone? How are you going to transition? We have an archer range opening here for Artosis. Or not Artosis, Artorius. Not to be confused with Artosis. So I believe it's a StarCraft guy, right? And we're going to get some gold mining here. So I guess it's going to be archers. Blue is going fast castle, I believe. And has not even left home and is just chilling out. Is going to push in even more food. Say goodbye, though. That one's going to run far away. Risky business. Come on, kill the thing. Kill it. It's next to your mill. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Where's it going? It's so confused. Kill it. Market for blue. Blacksmith for blue. Definitely seems like a fast castle to me. Now, might need to use that market a little bit. Red is just going to have one archer and the scout moving forward. Now, did red scout blue at all? No. Wow, I think red was actually auto-scouting, guys. That looks like auto-scout to me. So neither players found each other. They don't really know what the others are up to right now. And red's still looking around. Red will eventually find blue, but this is crucial timing, right? One player's building up with army, the other player's not. Also, this is an interesting strategy from red. Placing the mill in order to take the fish there. I don't mind that. Straggler tree central here for blue. Blue clicks up to Castle Age, though. Could farm with all these villagers. That might be the idea. And could even make a stable now and just prep for knights in the next age. And finally, red locates the enemy. Dun, 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 dun. Scout's going to go down to the TC. It doesn't go down to the TC. But that scout has officially been warned. And blue is paying attention. Again, this 2-minute window, it's going to be the biggest thing we talk about at the conclusion of this game. If the archers are upgraded and they walk in here before there's any knights, could kill a bunch of vills. But, you know, red is really taking some time here. Timing's not going to be crucial. At the same time, blue doesn't necessarily have the economy to make a ton of knights in the first place and is working on it. Fletching's on the way. Red's waiting. Red is now top capped, so can't wait for the next archer. Red, you've got to get a move on here. Now, when red was here, red didn't see the blacksmith market. Red didn't... And it's at an elo where I don't think red will really be able to go off the indicators. Like, if you see a stable, you know my opponent might make scouts or something, right? You might make some spears. But I don't think you expect a 16-minute fast castle here. All right, red. I think there's going to be some people out there who relate to what's about to happen to red. Because red is going to show up with archers and is going to lose all those archers to a knight. I think. Now, blue needs houses right now. You know, blue doesn't have a knight on the way. Red's still standing there. Okay. Red Dag barracks number 2. And is also going to mine some stone. So a whole lot of variety here for Red. He's just sitting in the middle. Blue, by the way, still has not located the enemy. Does not know what the enemy has. This game is freaking hard, guys. Hard to do all of that while also focus on your battle plan. And I guess, like, even though the potential for the Knights is there, that doesn't mean Blue's necessarily going to make them. Doesn't seem like there's much interest in that. But never mind. Okay, the Knights are now on the way. Where are they going, though? Red could sneak. I'm still trying to figure out if this is Red putting too much importance on the middle or if Red is just waiting for Archer Mass. Because I was thinking that Red's going to go forward and attack the middle. But now he just looks like he's protecting the gold. So remember that tip I gave you guys earlier on how you already have so much gold? You don't need to prioritize controlling the middle that much here. That's something I probably want to remind you guys of. Just hit the opponent's economy, man. You've got archers, right? Like, go kill. And then you can worry about the middle later. Blue still hasn't found the enemy. Does see some relics. With Lithuanians, you get extra attack on your knights per relics. Might be worth trying to go for that. Blue just hanging out. Not moving around at all. Catching up on some upgrades. There's the monastery to eventually get relics. And there's the scout moving over to a relic. All right. So we've got archers already. We're going to have spearmen as well for red. Getting good upgrades. Slav farms. Food income's flying. Could maybe use a few more farms. And guys, it's just been so interesting, right? Because both have had their potential thus far, but largely it's just been, you know, like their allies almost, except for those 2 scouts. And this could go a lot of different ways. Red had his window to potentially do damage. Blue now has his window to potentially do damage, isn't taking it. But I think it speaks to how highly I think of these guys and how they played this, that I'm talking about time windows. I don't know if these guys think about that. I don't know if they think about times. It's still Loey the Legends. I mean, I almost feel bad for casting and how I have covered it. But again, they're playing well. There's the TC. All right. Oh, man. Speaking of timing, though. I wonder if Blue takes this fight or runs away from it. I don't know if Blue knows about it. Okay, Blue saw Spearman and said, oh, no. Actually would have been a pretty good clear up there for Blue. Because Knights will win a 1v1 fight against Spearmen. Especially when we're talking low upgrades. Then again, I guess Red did have an upgrade. And Red's going to have Pikes. And then again, gets a little bit more complicated once Pikeman's there. So it's been big focus from Red on the middle. Blue doesn't know where the enemy is. Hasn't located the base at all. Trying to use the Knights. Now is thinking about just heading to where the enemy might be. So Red's feeling good about having the middle secured. But now the opponent's here. But now Red is going to run to the middle and drop a castle, though. Ho, ho, ho! Oh, boy. This is going to be interesting. Okay, that'll be a Deadville. This will be a couple Deadvilles. Big problems for Red. Red, I understand what you're thinking, but you got to bring some military home. Don't forget about where you've come from. Don't just think about your future. Oh, geez. Great job from Blue, though. And the beauty of Knights as well, right, is that you can use mobility like this. Red is now advancing into Blue's base. Red still has no defense. I'm sorry to be laughing, but... Defend yourself. Okay. There he is. He's going to have the castle. And, okay, he is bringing Pikeman home now. Ay, ay, ay. I think red is currently thinking attacking the main eco is cheating. I thought this was supposed to be a fight over the gold. Because he chose not to attack blue's main eco earlier in order to protect the gold. And then, you know, right here, he was kind of like not expecting that. But what do I say in my cast all the time? Oh, God. Well, first off, I say defend yourself. Oh, oh, no! Oh, no! Full disaster mode! Oh, everything's going so wrong. Oh, no! Oh, God. Everything possibly could go... Everything that could have possibly gone wrong is just gone wrong. Holy moly, dude. Okay, I can't even collect my thoughts right now. Yeah, I forget what I was talking about. This is just really bad for one player and really good for the other, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. Oh, man. He's still trying. Like, I think he knows I'm behind now, so I need to just get another castle down somehow. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So, something that I've said for years, and I really try and hammer down when I cast is, if the opponent is in a position that you find awkward to deal with, sometimes the best thing to do is to go to their base, right? So if they're in the middle, great, go to their base, and then punish them for protecting the middle and not protecting their base, or pull them out of the middle by going to their base, right? So it's really good thinking from blue to see that army and not say, oh god, I have to fight it, take possibly bad fight against pikemen, and just go around. And then also blue recognizes how, you know, important economy is and is focused on all those things, which has obviously been fantastic. But yeah, this is this would be comeback of the year if red were to win this one. I know it's 850 elo, but still. Knights beat pikemen in a 1v1 like we say all the time, so blue could continue to take that fight. And he thinks, you know, pikeman counter unit, which in many ways it is. Obviously bonus damage, etc. But maybe if red had a market and he could forward castle blue right now, if blue is out of position, maybe. But blue just runs in with more knights. Red does react this time. Nicely played. And pikemen are there. And blue runs away. How many knights does it take down a full TC? I mean, that's kind of a tricky thing to answer, right? Because, like, I think you... Probably about, like, 15 is where you feels like it's not complete waste. But it's situational on if they have Bodcanero. Like, you could do it with less than 15, but just how many knights do you want to lose? 44 to 12 KD. Blue feeling like a god right now. There's actually a video. How many Frank Knights do you need to destroy a fully garrisoned TC? Wow, interesting. Again, it's like, is the goal, though, to destroy the TC with as few knights as possible, and you're okay with losing the knights? Like, how... Like, a factor in that needs to be how long it takes to destroy it, right? Because then your opponent could prep more army to bring it over. So basically, the real answer is it depends. Jehu, that was a pretty funny comeback. And I think this would be a more impressive comeback just because of the level. The low-level comeback where the Goth player hid in the corner was absolutely insane, of course. But these guys are really freaking good. So, you know, for this to be comebackable, and for it to be a potential here, I think is even crazier. And so we're going to see a market. And again, I think the way to come back in this, if you're red, is a castle on blue's face and make it extremely messy. I think just further trying to secure the middle just leads to a situation where blue will just treb it down eventually. A defensive castle obviously protects a weaker economy. Blue has played very good, but blue has not really been under pressure at all this game, right? It is like red never has built up towards applying pressure to the opponent. The entire, I think just the map setup baited red into trying to camp instead of play like it's, you know, Arabia or something. Yep, I like how blue has done such a good job at looping in different areas all the time. Red always has army out of position. And that's going to be more villagers killed. 10+3 attack on the knights already. And we have iron casting on the way in as well here. Yeah, blue charging his charged his laptop at the start of this game, and he's in like he's charged up as well in this game right now. Again, with all this attack, just take the fight versus pikemen. It's an easy clear. Not an issue for you. Yeah, blue probably added skirms because of the pikes. I think it's a good addition. Because eventually, you know, pike mass could be an issue. So it just helps out a little bit. Well, you have all the gold in the world, red. But so does blue. Blue has probably collected more gold than you because there's still gold at home. It's so easy to fall into the trap, to just see the gold. Especially with Gold Rush existing, Golden Pit. It's like, I guess it should be relatively obvious that you don't need to take this, but it isn't, because people just feel like it's a Gold Rush map. So again, how much army is going to be there to contest the town centers? Not sure you want to do this, blue. Also, blue is missing bloodlines, which is a pretty big deal. Blue is going to draw red out of position, though, and drop a castle here, which is pretty epic. Don't think it's possible for blue to throw this. I've seen some pretty crazy throws over the years, but even that would be a relatively reasonable fight. He would lose it, but he'd still kill him with pikes. These knights would still be around. Red now is like, oh no, I need to deny that. That's bad. This is already bad. I'm going to try and drop a tower. And, well, I think we know that the villagers aren't going to be around to be able to build that tower, and that red's going to have to top out here. Castle's going to go up. And red's going to be like, dang, what could I have done against these knights? Lithuanian knights are so strong. And the answer for you, red, is timing. You had army, and you could have used it against blue, but you sat in the middle instead, and you kind of paid the price in this one, buddy. GG's called. But again, understandable situation there for red. Understandable that he would play it as he did in many ways. And an easy one to learn from. But truly, like, it really felt like everything went wrong for this guy. He's losing villagers to knights, losing crossbows to the town centers. At that one point there, literally everything fell apart. And you know how it is, right? Like, one thing happens and you're like, oh gosh, oh no. And then as you're realizing that one thing's going wrong, you look somewhere else and, oh no, that's happening too. And oh no, that's happening. Oh man. 27k resources collected there from blue, who just seems more experienced on the map and played super well. Honestly, the fast castle time is also really impressive. But I think at this elo, you can be bold enough to go fast castle because there are a lot of players similar to red who either don't wish to attack early, they're patient, or they don't have the timings to get their attacks right. So the higher you go up through the ranks, going fast castle without walls, you're going to lose. You're going to pay the price. You're going to lose some villagers, and you're going to have greater issues. But red's archer army just standing in the middle was kind of the difference there, and I think that happens a lot here. Yeah, well played though to the winner, Artorius. Not the winner of the game. You were the winner of most units lost. But well played to ychoD, the winner of this game.